Well, if you're going to tell the story of the royal family, how can you do it without including this? Hi, it's me again, and I stumbled across this headline. Have a look at it here, look. The Crown bosses spark fury with plans to recreate Princess Diana's final tragic moments in Paris. So The Crown is a massive show, I fully accept that. It's a huge show. Not my cup of tea. I'm not a big royalist and I wouldn't want to watch a dramatisation of the history of the royal family either. But I do accept it's a massive show with a huge, huge worldwide following, isn't it? And if they're trying to tell the story of the British royal family, how can they not do the Diana thing? It was a seminal moment, wasn't it? In the history of the British royal family. It changed the British royal family forever, didn't it? They physically had to change how they deal with things because of the Diana situation, because they hid away, didn't they, after it happened? And they were being accused of being cold and, uncaring and everything. And this filtered back to them, and their PR team must have had a word. And then all of a sudden, they're out on the street shaking hands and saying thank you for the flowers and everything, weren't they? And that's what they do now. They're more open. And it was the Diana incident that caused them to be more open. So they have to tell the story of the Diana thing. How can they possibly skip that? It's an important part of the history. The move has sparked a backlash from crew members working on The Crown who fear a line has been crossed. Well, I'm not being funny, but if you work on the Netflix show The Crown, that's telling the story of the British royal family, you knew this was coming, right? This can't be a surprise to you. You must know a little bit about the recent history of the royal family if you work on the show. Diana's in it at the minute, from what I gather. You knew this was coming. How was it a surprise to you? It comes as the show starring Elizabeth Debicki as Di faces increasing anger over its wild plot lines, with claims of insensitivity so soon after the Queen's death. Now, the bit that stuck out to me there was plot lines. I know it's dramatised. You can't take it as gospel, what they say in this show about the British royal family. No one really knows what happens behind the scenes in the British royal family apart from the British royal family. And they ain't telling you, are they? So it's plot lines. It's all fake. But they've got to tell the story as it is, in the timeline as it is. They've got to do it. How can they not do it? Bosses are also under fire over soon-to-be-aired scenes suggesting Prince Philip had an affair with a female friend. But even more graphic and harrowing scenes are now being worked on. Yeah, that's the important bit, isn't it? They've got to tell the story about Diana because it is that important. And she was so loved by the nation, wasn't she? Even people who weren't royalists loved Diana. My mum, she's got every Diana piece of memorabilia going, every single Diana book. And she's had the Diana haircut since Diana was about. She refuses to change it because she loved Diana so much. So yeah, they've got to tackle it carefully. They must tell the story. They're not going to tell the true story because many people believe certain things about that situation that we won't discuss on this channel. But even my mum believes those, to be fair, and she's quite the royalist. But anyway, they've got to tell the story, haven't they? But yeah, the graphic part of it and, pulling Diana out the car, moving her into the ambulance and everything, will they show that? Because they've got to be really careful with that because there's going to be a lot of hardcore Diana fans watching it. And you don't want to go too far with that. So yeah, they've got to tell the story. They've got to tell the story, haven't they? But they can't make it so graphic. And the other thing that stands out about this story to me is, when did Diana die? It was 97, I believe Diana died, wasn't it? 1997. So they're already up to 1997 in the timeline. And what's happened in the royal family since 97? Not that much. A couple of weddings, aren't there? A couple of funerals. Not too much. They're going to have to start spinning this out if they want to get a few more series of The Crown, aren't they? It's going to turn into The Walking Dead. Did you ever watch The Walking Dead? I used to stream that, and it just got so boring. Every episode was just full of absolutely nothing, and you had to wait until the 2 before the end of the season before something actually happened, because they just had to pad it out. I don't know, pad it, fill the time. So that's probably what's going to happen with The Crown, although they may very well be doing that. This is why I don't watch many of these big series, because so much of it is just padding, isn't it? But yeah, they're going to have to do that. Either that or go back in time and do a prequel. Go back in time and do like Henry VIII or something like that. I think I've just given Netflix an idea. Put the check in the post, Netflix, and you can have that one. Hey. So what do you reckon about this then? Do you think they should do the Diana story at all? Because Diana's in it at the minute. and then they can't just go from Diana being in it to Diana not being in it. They've got to tell the story, right? But I do think they've got to be careful about how graphic and how much they portray the actual incident itself, and whether, you know, it's a plot line, isn't it? So they may not know the full truth or include many of the things that people believe to be true and have been written about it. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And also, do you watch The Crown? Do you think it's any good? Do you think I should give it a go? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that way, hopefully, I'll see you in another video again soon when I... Ta-da.